Faith's womb was used. Moyo's glory was stolen, and Sade was used to renew ritual. She never stopped vomiting maggots, all because they wanted to omble, all because they wanted to dirty their December. They went from clubs to club, picking money from the floor, collecting money from men they knew nothing about. Little did they know that their destiny has been stolen. Something was being taken in return. The men gave them money, but they took something greater than the money. Faith, Moyo, and Sade were the perfect trio. They were roommates, pretty, classy ladies, always well-dressed, makeup on point, always the center of attention, even if they never did much. Sade was their rock, the richest of them all. When they met in 100 level, they thought Sade was from a rich home because of the way she dresses and carry herself. People mistook her to be a final year student because of her dress sense. When other 100 level freshers were dressing shabbishly, reverse was the case for Sade, as she dressed and looked so classy. She was put in Faith and Moyo's room by chance, and that was how they met each other. And as a big girl that Sade is, she classed herself. She didn't talk or relate with Faith and Moyo because of the way they looked. In her mind, she called them small girls, just because they didn't measure up to her standard. Faith and Moyo, being the carefree ladies that they are, tried to befriend Sade, but she ignored them, and so Faith and Moyo just kept to themselves. They started noticing some weird behaviors with Sade. They laughed at her because Sade isn't really who she claims to be. Sade could go hungry for days just because she wants to save and buy a fake LV bag. When Faith and Moyo are eating, she will stare at them as if they are eating poo. She spends most of her day pressing her phone and calling people asking, "How far, any updates?" If the person says yes, then Sade will smile happily and start dressing up, and she would leave the house all glammed up. Although Faith and Moyo weren't the type to gossip, they just couldn't ignore Sade's gist. She was right in their faces. This girl is funny, oh. I wonder where she goes at night, Moyo would say, and Faith would reply her saying, obviously now, she's going to do runs. Don't let us jump into conclusion, Moyo would tell Faith. But the girls weren't even wrong to judge Sade like that, because anytime she goes out like that, the next morning, she would come back with a bag filled with squeezed new notes of money. Faith and Moyo saw it all, but they pretended not to. After arranging and counting the money, Sade will dash out and come back home with bag filled with clothes and bags. She spent all of her money buying expensive fake designers while she drank garri and sugar. She prefers eating poorly and buying so much designer things. One day, Faith and Moyo decided to cook egusi and semo. They started cooking and they noticed Sade parading the kitchen, even if she wasn't looking for anything. And Faith said to her, "Sade, this way that you're moving around, you're going here and there. Are you hungry? Do you want to eat? Do you care for some semo and egusi?" But Sade quickly declined their offer. She said, "No, girls, I just ate fried rice and chicken." And she left with a confused face. But the girls knew that Sade was lying because they saw her when she was hiding and drinking garri and sugar. The girls continued cooking and they started eating and gisting. But they noticed Sade staring at them and her stomach was grumbling. "Sade, come and join us now," they said. "It looks like you are hungry." But Sade quickly said no, she's full. But as she said that, her stomach grumbled so loud, it was so embarrassing, and Faith and Moyo started laughing so much. They laughed and laughed. Faith stood up and dished food for Sade, and Sade ate like someone that hasn't eaten for days. Well, she hasn't. She only ate garri, snacks and junks, and spent most of her money on clothes, bags and wigs. And the rest of her money goes to her savings that she never ever touches. While Sade was eating, Moyo said to her, Shade, please, sorry, don't be angry. We are not keeping an eye on you. But we see how you come home with so much money. Why don't you use it to eat? I mean, I've seen you drink Gary so many times. Why? Why do you starve yourself like that? Shade was quiet for a while. And then she said to the girls, don't worry, one day I'll tell you. And that was how the girls became friends. Shade no longer see herself as the classiest of them all in the room. They became friends and they went to school together, even if they looked so different because of their different dress sense. It was a bit hard to believe that they are friends. One evening, Shade came back home from one of her many outings and she met Moyo crying bitterly. Faith was consoling her, but she kept on crying still. And Shade asked, Moyo, why are you crying? What is it? Faith then explained everything to her. She said Moyo went to her boyfriend's house and she met him there with another lady. She confronted him and he was quiet. He couldn't talk. He just stared at her like he was disgusted. And the lady she met there shouted, saying, get your ugly self out of my house. Moyo was so pained because she has been dating him since their secondary school days. She has always supported his crypto dreams, and once he got the money he has been looking for, he started spending on other ladies, cheating and flaunting his money around. Moyo was so pained. She felt so little of herself because the girl called her ugly. She asked Faith and Shade, am I really that ugly? No, you are not. In fact, you are one of the most prettiest girl I know, Shade said. Just that you need a little bit of retouch. These men, they don't deserve pity, Me, I don't even love men. I go after money. Money is the most important thing, let me tell you guys. I can't suffer for anybody, I can't suffer for any man. Just collect money and move on. That is it, Shade said. Don't rely on them. Let me tell you guys the truth. Me, I collect money from men with my body. Hold on, I am not doing hookup. I dress nice and go to the club, classy restaurants and all. And that's where I meet this men. Especially the club. They spray money on me. They spray money like as if they pluck money from trees. These people have money. It's just like as if they have a tree where they pluck money and just come to the club to spray. They spray money so much. And I pick the money. If it's for self, I pick them. And that is where I get my money. So yes, I am not doing hookup or anything. I don't even entertain them touching me. All I do is pick the money they spray while I dance. Really? Faith and Shade said, surprised. Is it that simple? Wow, I also want to make money like that, Moyo said to Shade. Forgive us, Shade. We thought you were doing runs, Moyo said. Oh, no, I don't do such, Shade replied. So Shade, all of this money, why don't you use it to buy food? Why do you only buy clothes? You don't even eat well. Well, it's because I save the money. I want to leave this country, and so I save a lot of money. Oh, Moyo and Faith replied. Nice one, Shade. That's so good of you. So Moyo, don't be sad, okay? You'll be fine. You'll see a better man, Shade said to Moyo, consoling her. Yes, I have an idea. Why don't you girls follow me out this December? It is the best time to go to clubs and parties. The I just got back will be there. The chiefs will be there. Alajis will be there. They will be dashing bundles of money and spraying. Yes, now let's go. We're going to have fun and we're going to have a lot of money. Shade said to the girls, me, I need money, because I have to jackpot. But for you girls, you guys can just use yours to shop, so you look all glammed up and pretty. Moyo and Faith thought about it and it looked like a good idea.
They decided to start following
Shade to the clubs. Night after night, they were going from club to club, dancing and picking money sprayed in the club. They would take it home and jubilate, buy clothes, wigs, go to the club again, pick so much money on the floor and spend lavishly. People started hailing them in their departments. because of how they look and dress. They thanked Sade so much for everything, for bringing them into a business of picking money in clubs. They were now known as the school's big girls. Even Moyo's ex wanted her back, but she declined. Sade was saving her money to leave the country. Moyo was spending on meaningless things. In fact, at the end of the day, she couldn't account for what she used the money for. And that's because she took money a popular Yahoo boy sprayed. He sprayed her alone, but in return, he took her glory from her. It was December. Everyone were eager to make money. The ladies were going out every day and night. The men in the club were looking forward to renew their rituals. But the ladies didn't know. They thought that since they won't be opening the men, they were free. But that wasn't the case. The men gave them money in exchange for something, their glory. On the 25th of December, the girls went out to have fun and get some money as usual. They were busy dancing when a man walked up to them and he told them that the three chiefs want to dance with them for a while, privately. The man showed them the chiefs and he told them that they would be paid greatly. Sade quickly said yes, but Moyo and Faith declined. Sade convinced them, telling them that it's just dancing girls, and so they agreed and followed the men to different rooms. They weren't in the same room. They started dancing. In the room Faith went to, the man sprayed her so much money, but he kept using the money to eat her stomach as she danced. Moyo was sprayed a lot too, but the man who was spraying her money was angry for some reason. And that was because he didn't see anything to steal from her, as she has been used previously by the Yahoo boy who sprayed her money. Sade was also given so much money, but she just suddenly woke up the next day without the man who sprayed her in sight. The girls were used and they didn't even notice. They didn't know at all. They kept going from clubs to clubs, dancing and picking money sprayed by different men they didn't even know, and they were showcasing it online, flaunting it, telling ladies to go to club if they are broke. They did challenges online saying, I went to the club with an empty bag and I came back with bundles of money. But what they didn't know is that their glory has been stolen. One day, Sade came to the house and started complaining that her hand was itching so much. It was weird because Moyo and Faith started complaining that their hand was itching as well. They started itching and itching. They used everything they saw, both herbal medicine and drugs from pharmacy, but it didn't stop their hand from itching. They kept itching, and before they knew it, their hands became so big. It was like the hand of a giant. It was so big. Whenever they pressed it, it looked so hard. They couldn't go to clubs anymore, and they couldn't even go to class because anytime people see their hand, they ask them, girls, what is wrong with your hand? And it was the three of them. They kept lying that it's an allergy, but for how long? Because it didn't go down. It wasn't long till the girls realized that the swallow hands was spiritual. They went to different churches praying and asking God for forgiveness to deliver them from the plight of their extremely big hands. And after going from church to church, God delivered them. Their hands went down. They were warned not to pick money from the floor of a club anymore, but they still didn't listen. Let's go one last time, they said, and they went. It wasn't long that they graduated and they went their separate ways. Years later, Sade traveled to the States after saving so much money. She eventually settled, but even after doing everything, Sade couldn't conceive. She always lose a baby, and occasionally she vomits maggots. She found it weird. She knew that it was spiritual, so she hid it from her husband. Moyo, in 3 years, have done 20 different businesses and nothing worked for her. She couldn't account for the money she was spending. Her businesses weren't prospering. Faith was barren, and womb has been used. For years, things remained like that for them until they eventually connected the dots and they realized that none of them were moving forward in life. Rather, they were stagnant. Moyo and Faith met and discussed their issues, and it was similar. They knew something was wrong. They visited a white garment church, and that was where it was revealed to them that they were used. They informed Sade about it, and she was shocked. But through prayers, the yoke was broken. They realized that all that glitters is not gold. They thought the men were just paying them money out of their own goodwill, but in return, in the spiritual realm, they collected something from them, something greater than the money that they sprayed. The end. So, you guys, thank you so much for watching. So, I don't know, I created this story. Maybe it is going to pass a lesson to somebody. So, it is December, yes, and everybody's out. Everybody wants to omble. Everybody wants a dirty December. In as much as you are enjoying yourself, be very careful and be very prayerful. It is very interesting. I know that this story is for somebody, yes. But please let us be careful. In as much as you want to go to clubs and pick money and, as much as you want to, use your fine girl privilege to collect money from men, be very careful. Be wise. Be very prayerful. And I know that God will protect us all because this time of the year, things are always happening. Ritualists are out there looking for praise, and I know that God is going to protect us all. So let's be careful. Thank you so much for watching the story, you guys. Please comment in the comment section what you feel, lessons learned. Thank you. And please do not forget to subscribe. If you are new here, you're welcome. Welcome to African Tales by M. And please do not forget to tap on the notification bell so every time I post a new story, you get to know. Thank you, besties, and see you guys on my next story.